Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. We are studying the fourth verse of the Quran, An-Nisa. Its name is Woman in English, and its main topic is personality development and social sciences. All these verses of the Quran is the sermon of God, and the name of each sermon is name is given by different companions of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, based on just to understand that what's the topic inside each verse. So since it is most issue is discussed about social sciences, especially in case of women and how to deal with them, that's why this name of An-Nisa, which means woman, is its name is given by different scholars who have established just to understand this one. In the last lecture, if you have listened that, so you will see that especially the personality development of social sciences is discussed, to start with the help to orphans and marriage, and then the law of inheritance, and then God has explained the penal law about adultery, and then repentance, how to repent it. You have studied already in the previous lecture. But right now, it was a suggestion of some students that especially this inheritance law is a mite complicated. So that's why we need some case studies to understand it. So today is our topic. We will discuss it further. The law of inheritance, which is the sentences 7 to 14, and also the last sentence 176 is also about the answer of questions in case of inheritance. And we will also conduct personally some sample how we should calculate it. So that's why I have included it. So let's study this one. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the ever merciful. للرجال نصيب مما ترك الوالدين والأقربون وللنساء نصيب مما ترك الوالدان والأقربون مما قل منه أو كثر نصيبا مفروضا وإذا حضر القسمة أولو القربى واليتامى والمساكين فارزقوهم منه وقولوا لهم قولا معروفا وليخشى الذين لو تركوا من خلفهم ذرية ضعافا خافوا عليهم فليتقوا الله وليقولوا قولا سديدا إن الذين يأكلون أموال اليتامى ظلما إنما يأكلون في بطونهم نارا وسيصلون سعيرا. Men shall also have a share of inheritance in whatever your parents and family members as well. Similarly, woman shall also have a share in whatever her parents and family members, whether this share of inheritance is little or more, as an certain amount. However, when close relatives, orphans, or the needy happen to come by at the time of distribution, give them too a share of it and speak to them in kind attitude. Those people should fear who would have been very anxious if they had left behind weak children. Therefore, they should fear God and speak justly in every matter. In reality, those who unjustly get the wealth of orphans, they get the fire of hell into their valleys, and soon they shall enter into the blazing fire of the hell. So here, to start, God has explained that for any man or woman, whoever is died, so whatever amount, investment, assets, whatever they have, it will be given to their family members, whether they are men or women, all of them will get this share. And then God has given a warning that especially take care, especially the about orphan children, that if you will do any fraud with the children, then make sure that you will have to go to the hell with huge punishment will be available for you. And then God has also explained that whatever you are dividing to your to the family of died person, if there some orphans or other relevant relatives, if they came there at that time, so each person should get his or her should get share of them in the inheritance, and also give some amount to this orphan or other close relative person. Also give some amount, whatever you want. God has not fixed any amount, but you should give them. And if you are unable to do anything amount, so then your attitude should be kind. So this is the requirement. So this is the first God has explained. Then God further explain about the calculation, how you will conduct this. يوصيكم الله في أولادكم للذكر مثل حظ الأنثيين فإن كن نساء فوق اثنتين فلهن ثلثا ما ترك وإن كانت واحدة فلها النصف ولأبويه لكل واحد منهما السدس مما ترك إن كان له ولد فإن لم يكن له ولد وورثه أبواه فلأمه الثلث فإن كان له إخوة فلأمه السدس من بعد وصية يوصي بها أو دين آباؤكم وأبناؤكم لا تدرون أيهم أقرب لكم نفعا فريضة من الله فإن الله كان عليما حكيما. So this is the law of inheritance. God directs you regarding your children, that what you should do. Among them, a boy's share is equal to that of two girls. This is the first thing. Here I will explain also this one, because all the sons, they will have more responsibility about their parents. That's why God has directed them that for boys, their sons will have double share in inheritance. Then second point is, then if there are only girls among the children and they are two or more than two, then they shall be given 2 to 13, which is 16.67% of the inheritance. So let's suppose if sons are not available means that they are not born at all. Only girls, which are the daughters, are all available. Then for the daughters, if two or more than two, they have get 16.6667% share, which is 2 divided by 3 is their share of the daughters. If there is only one girl, then her share is half, which is 50%. Like, this is the third point, that if only one daughter is available at the death of father or mother at that time, so then one daughter, if only one daughter is available, she has to get 50% share. Then fourth point is, but dividing the inheritance before this should be given to each of the parents of the deceased if he or she has children. Like, if a person is now dead, at that time his parents, father or mother, whoever is available, first of all give to them their share first, then it will go to the children. Then fifth point is, if there are no children and only parents are the heirs, then his or her mother's share is third, which is 33.333%, and the rest of this is for the father, because father is responsible in the life for his child for on financial matters. That's why God has given 66.67% to father and 33.3% to the mother. Then number 6 is, however, if death person has brothers and sisters, then the mother's share is the same, which is 1/6, which is 16.67%, and the father's share is also the same, 1 divided by 6, which is 16.67%, which is the same like, which is 16.67% you will give to the mother, 16.67% you will give to the father, and what is remaining? Now you will calculate 16.67 plus 16.67, you will add, this will become 33.33%. So what is the remaining? Remaining is 67.67%, and that this 16.67% will be given to the children who are sons and daughters. You'll have to give to them. And if there is no children available, then instead of son and daughter, the same situation will be given to the brother and sister of the dead person. Whoever they have brother, he will get the same share like the son will get. But right now no son is available, son is not available, daughter is not available, then you'll have to give to the brother and sisters, whoever are available, who is the dead person about it. Then seventh point is, these shares should be given after the execution of any he or she may have bequeathed, and after discharging any outstanding debt. So this is the seventh point, that first of all you'll have to pay all the responsibilities of liabilities. First of all, give the liabilities, and the person who is dead, before this he has given some amount which is as a will is given. So first of all give to the will, and then the remaining amount first give to the parents if they are available, and then you'll have to give the remaining amount to the children, sons and daughters, and if sons and daughters are not available, then their same position will be go to the brothers and sisters. But if children are available, then brothers and sisters will not be able to get any amount. Then at the end, God has explained the reasons as well. You don't know who among your family, parents, and children are the nearest to you in benefit due to their services to the dead person. For precisely this reason, these shares have been fixed by Allah, because God is wise and all knowing. So God has explained that people does not know exactly that what share should be given to which person. So you might have seen in different countries, people have made that whole property become the owner of the biggest son. People give to them. So God has explained that don't do this, because every family member has give you some services in your life. So right now you are dead. At that time, God has fixed that what amount should be given to their all the, especially their first, you'll have to pay the liabilities. If you have given a will, give to the will, and then you'll have to give first to the parents, and then remaining amount you'll have to divide to your children. And if children are not available, then you'll have to go to your brothers and sisters, you'll have to give to them. So this is the law. Then God further explained, but before this, just as a sample, a case study. Let's suppose Mr. A dead and his total property is, let's suppose, 1 million. 1 million, how much amount? It may be $1 million or 1 million in Saudi Riyal or Indian rupees or Pakistan rupees, whatever it is. So let's suppose it is 1 million. Now, if any liabilities or any will he has given, okay, it is given already, remaining amount is $1 million. So first you'll have to, Mr. A has father and mother, they live it, so that's why 16.67% you'll have to give to them. So now you will calculate 1 million multiplied by 16.67%, so it will become to 166,667 dollar go to the father, and the same amount you will give to the mother. And God has also explained about the wife. For wife share will be 12.5%, so it is 125,000. You will say that it is not here. Okay, it is not here, but in the next verse, God has explained that for the daughter, so for the wife, this will be the share. I think it's better that we explain first. We explain the case study. Okay, 12.5% you'll have to go give to the wife. So the remaining balance is 667 dollars. So right now, first of all, daughter's share will be now 33% of the balance. So this will become to 222, 223. First give to the daughter. Right now, let's suppose Mr. A has two daughters, so each of them will give the same amount. So 222, 223 divided by 2, so 111.5 you'll have to give to one daughter, and the same amount to the other daughter. Now, for the sons, sons will get the 16.67% of the balance. So balance is 666, 667, multiply this one 16.67%, so 444, 444, this is the amount of sons. Now suppose Mr. A had 3 sons, so now 443 divided by 3, so each son will get 148, 148 dollars each son will get, and the remaining balance is 0. So this is a sample. So right now you will think about your family, that how many family members you have. You assume about yourself that let's suppose I am died, so how much share will be given to which daughter and which son, and let's suppose your parents are still alive, so how much they will get, and your wife will get how much. So this is this calculation, just a sample. Now see another example. Another example is Mr. A died the same amount, $1 million, his in his inheritance, and Mr. A already died. So it means died person, Mr. A's father already died, khalas. So there is no amount will be given. It's not possible to give to them. For mother, 16.67% will be given to her, which is 16.67% into 1,166,667. And wife will get 12.5%, which is 122,500,000. Sorry, this is a mistake here. It will be 125. So this was a mistake, sorry, here. So instead of that, this is the share of wife. So now the remaining amount is given. So this is 708,333 is remaining. So now you'll have to divide into daughters 33.33% of balance. It will be given, and for the sons it's 16.67% to them. So this is 472 to 22. There are 3 sons, so divide into 3. So they will get this one amount. This is just an example. So but God has explained further about different scenario. Now further you will how calculate for others. وَلَكُمْ نِصْفُ مَا تَرَكَ أَزْوَاجُكُمْ إِن لَّمْ يَكُن لَّهُنَّ وَلَدٌ فَإِن كَانَ لَهُنَّ وَلَدٌ فَلَكُمُ الرُّبُعُ مِمَّا تَرَكْنَ مِن بَعْدِ وَصِيَّةٍ يُوصِينَ بِهَا أَوْ دَيْنٍ وَلَهُنَّ الرُّبُعُ مِمَّا تَرَكْتُمْ إِن لَّمْ يَكُن لَّكُمْ وَلَدٌ فَإِن كَانَ لَكُمْ وَلَدٌ فَلَهُنَّ الثُّمُنُ مِمَّا تركتم من بعد وصية توصون بها أو دين وإن كان رجل يورث كلالة أو امرأة وله أخ أو أخت فلكل واحد منهما السدس فإن كانوا أكثر من ذلك فهم شركاء في الثلث من بعد وصية يوصى بها أو دين غير مضار وصية من الله والله عليم حليم. O husband, you will belong to half, which is 50% of what your wives leave if they die without any children. So let's suppose if a lady died and she does not have any children, then 50% will be the share of her husband. Then God further explained, if they have children, then quarter, which is 25% of what they leave shall be yours after execution of any will they may have bequeathed and after discharging any liabilities. Because definitely, first of all, any will and liabilities first you'll have to pay, and remaining amount then you will calculate 50% or 25%. 25% if the lady has one or two or three whatever children they have, so then husband will get 25%. But if no children, then 50%. So as the case studies I have shared some example, it is Mr. A. Let's suppose if she is Mrs. A. So in that case, so instead of wife, it will become husband, and husband share will become how much? 25%, because children are available. But if children are not available, he will get 50%. Then God further explained about wives. The wives, this is number 10 point, the wives, they shall inherit a quarter, which is 25% of what you leave if you die without children. If husband died and you don't have, Mr. A has no children, then wife will get 25% share. If you have children, then they shall inherit 1 over 8, which is 12.5% of what you leave after execution of any will you may have bequeathed and after discharging any outstanding liabilities. So definitely, will and liabilities first you'll have to pay, and whatever remaining amount, if you don't have any children, then you will have to give the wife 25%. But if children are available, then the wife will get 12.5%. So right now you see in the sample I shared, this is 12.5% is based on this sentence of Nisa. Then God further explained, in the absence of parents and children, if a man or a woman is made an heir on account of being a relative of the deceased person, he or she has one brother or sister, then the brother and sister shall receive a sixth each. Which this question is about the will. That if you want to give a will to, so definitely in that case, like your parents are and children are not available, but your wife or husband is only available, in that case 16.67% will must be given to the brother and sister you'll have to give. Which means about which brother and sister, that you are giving a will to a relative person. Let's suppose you are giving to an uncle some amount. So let's suppose you have fixed $100,000 to your uncle. So God explained that out of this will, you will have to give 16.67% to the brother and sister of your uncle. First you'll have to give to them, and then remaining, which will be around 83.3%, then you'll have to give to the uncle. Because God knows that for the uncle, any brother and sister of uncle are also have the same, they are also relatives. So give them to as well. Then the 13th point God has explained, if they be more than one, then all of them shall be shares in 1 over third, 33.33%, and the remaining shall be given to the person who is made he here after the execution of will and any outstanding liabilities without harming any one person. This is the command from God, and God is all knowing and gracious. So here it means that if you're giving 100,000 to your uncle, and your uncle has some other brothers and sisters, so let's suppose if you are giving to Mr. A is now giving a will to Uncle A. So Uncle A is there, but he has some children, some brothers and sisters available. So then Uncle B and Uncle C is also part of your, they are also uncle. Similarly, Auntie A and Auntie B also available. So then God says that for this Uncle A, B, C, and Auntie B and C total, first you'll have to give 33.3% to the will, give to them, and then the remaining 66.67% you'll give to that special Uncle A, because he is, you are given a will to them, because God wants that there should be no problems should be there in case of any relatives about that. So that's the reason. Here, this is the last verse of this An-Nisa 176. Here it is explained about the will as well. About this is about brother and sisters of that person. Let's suppose Mr. A is death. At that time you'll have to give to what amount will give to the brother and sister of Mr. A. God explained, يستقنو يستفتونك قل الله يفتيكم في الكلالة إن امرؤ هلك ليس له ولد وله أخت فلها نصف ما ترك وهو يرثها إن لم يكن لها ولد فإن كانت اثنتين فلهما الثلثان مما ترك وإن كانوا إخوة رجالا ونساء فللذكر مثل حظ الأنثيين يبين الله لكم أن يضلوا والله بكل شيء عليم. Prophet, people asked your verdict about inheritance, about relatives, if a person has no parents nor any children in that case. So this is called in Arabic as al-kalala. Kalala means that a person who is now dead and his his parents and children are not available. Then what to do? So then God explained, inform them, God gives his verdict to you about kalala, relatives, a person who has no parents nor any children. Number one point is that if a person dies childless and he has a sister only, then she shall inherit 50% of what wealth he leaves, which means 50% will be given to the sister if there is only one sister available. Then number two is if the sister dies childless, then her brother shall be her higher. Definitely sister, if a lady is died and her parents, husband, children, nothing is available, then go to the brothers and sisters. Then number three is if there are two sisters, then they shall inherit 2 divided by third, which is 66.67% of what wealth he leaves behind. And number four, and if there are many brothers and sisters, then the share of the male shall be that of 2 females. Allah explains to you so that you don't have any error, and God has knowledge of all things. So here in the scenario that if no children are available, so then only sister is available. If there is only one sister, then you'll have to give 50% to the sister. But if two sisters or three or four sisters are available, so 66.67% will be their share. But if addition to sisters, if Mr. A had brothers, then brothers share will be double of the sisters. So which means this is the same formula which is given about daughters. Instead of daughters, now the same situation will become for the sisters. Similarly, for the sons, it will give the situation go to the brothers of Mr. A. So this is the scenario. So God has explained in that way. So now see this calculation. Let's suppose Mr. A died $1 million and father, mothers, nothing available. So khalas, so definitely they cannot get anything. They already died. So wife will get 25% of total amount, which is 250,000 will be the share of the wife, because God has explained that if no children are available, then wife will get 25% shares. She will get it. Now remaining 75,000, and that Mr. A had only two daughters. So then what to do? Then 66.67% you will calculate to 7,500,000 balance. You'll have to calculate. So 500,000 you will give to the daughters. In case of daughters. But if daughters are not available, these are the sisters. Give to the sisters. But still, remaining balance will remain, which is 250,000, and for the remaining amount, what will happen, that this decision will be given to the family court of the government. They will make the decision that for the remaining balance, what to do. Now, in the same scenario, let's suppose daughters are not available, no children available. So first give to the wife 25% to her, and right now two sisters exist and three brothers exist. What to do? So the remaining balance is 750,000. So 33.3% will be given to the sisters, which is 250,000. And let's suppose Mr. A has two sisters. Each sister you will divide. Each sister will get 125,000. 66.67% will be share of brothers, which is total, you will calculate, it is 500,000. And let's suppose three brothers are there, so divide 500,000 divided by 3. So each brother will get 666.7 dollars each brother will get, because brother is now the scenario of the same of sons. Right now, since the son is not available, so the balance will be go to the brother. And for sisters, it will give to their share like the same, which is like the daughters. So see, in the previous case, it was 66.67% of daughters, because there is no son is given. Let's suppose if daughter is not there, but only sister is there, then you'll have to give to daughters. Instead of daughters, the sisters will get the same shares. But definitely some balance will be there, and the balance, then family court will make the decision that who person, it will be given according to the remaining. Let's suppose Mr. A has given a will of that Auntie Mrs. X about that 100,000. Then you'll have to go to Mrs. X. But if Mrs. X has some brother sisters, then go to them first, and then remaining, which is 83,333 to Mrs. X, and this is 16.67% is an uncle, which is the brother of Mrs. X. So give to them 16,667 first. So you'll have to take care of them. So now I will suggest you that about your family scenario, about your personal scenario, if you die, how it will be calculated to your, and the same you can calculate for your relative persons like your uncles or your father or mother. You will think based on that how inheritance will be calculated, and then at the end, this is the sentence 13-14. God has given the result of that. تلك حدود الله ومن يطع الله ورسوله يدخله جنات تجري من تحتها الأنهار خالدين فيها وذلك الفوز العظيم ومن يعص الله ورسوله ويتعدى حدوده يدخله نارا خالدا فيها وله عذاب مهين. These are the legal responsibilities set by Allah. Those persons who obey God and His prophets, He shall admit them into orchards of the paradise, beneath which rivers will flow. They shall remain in them forever, and this alone is the supreme success. But those who are disobedient to God and His prophets and cross the limits set by God, He shall cast them into the fire, wherein they shall live forever, which will be humiliating punishment to them. Definitely, any person who want to give some fraud, like some brother or some son takes more, so then a lot of punishment will be available to him. Similarly, some other persons, if we want to make a fraud, like if in the family court a judge makes wrong decision based on just to get fraud he will make, then God will give punishment to him as well. And God has explained that any person who will make according to the law of God, then he or she will go to the paradise to get a lot of enjoyment, to get the benefit. So now please calculate and send to me through email, and I will check it and I will explain you that whether your calculation is correct, or if there is any error, I will explain to you. So thanks a lot. So this is finished. Inshallah, in the next lecture we will continue to discuss the family law in the next lecture. Thanks a lot. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.